This is Putting It Straight. Rethink your beliefs. Redefine your life.
Friends, do you think the Bible is 100% correct when it recommends that believers marry only in the Lord? On Putting It Straight, this platform will shake up a little the popular beliefs and practices so that we can redefine our lives. I want to give perspective to the topic of marrying in the Lord with a personal story. 26 years ago, I was on the road to family life. I met a sister in the church that I thought and believed the training, the spiritual training and the social training and the rest of them that I had, she also had. And if that is the case, with similar religious background, then our marriage should be blissful. What added more to my choice of a sister in the Lord, what emphasized it was some of the books I read while preparing for marriage emphasize the commonality of spiritual experience. So here I was then in Jehovah's Witnesses organization before I went out. So here she was doing everything and I said, okay, if she is this good, then we would make a good pair. Little did I know that down the road, just 5 years afterwards, that the nimbus cloud gathered and it was raining cat and dogs in our marriage, which made me sit down and recollect what was written or credited to a philosopher, Plato. Plato is credited as having said, marry. If you marry a good wife, you would be happy. But if you marry a bad wife, you'll become a philosopher. So that was my moment to become a philosopher. I wondered about what I could have done wrong to turn an angel into a demon. But I just couldn't. Others too couldn't. When the lady dramatically changed, she could leave the home for 1 month on end without anybody knowing her whereabouts and would go out sometimes 2 weeks and return. Nobody. You see, it was getting out of hand. Imagine what went on there. Every attempt to see eye to eye was rebuffed. She was not. So I asked myself, what is the essence then if we have to marry in the Lord? If those of the Lord are like those outside or worse than. In fact, she went out and the children, 4 of them, became my burden. And I became a single father for so many years in order to bring them because they were so little. In fact, one of them is here. David,
Yes, Daddy.
say hello to the world. This is one of the seeds.
Hello, world.
Okay. I'm talking about his mother.
Okay.
So, what do you do? What, when things happen like this, when angels become devils, what do you do? What lesson do we learn? So I ask myself, what mistakes have I made? It dawned on me that one, possibly, I had focused more on the spiritual aspect of the relationship than the real aspects that should deserve attention. You see, the problem now is most of us particularly the way churches are made so glamorous, so beautiful, so enjoyable. We look at the sisters and the sisters would look at the brothers. We are all performers. We are all actors. They look their best, sleek, beautiful dresses, and the men come. But the real substance that make them up, their character, are something different, hidden somewhere. So now, if you are married, I don't know, are you married? How long ago? You must be blessed if your marriage is selling smoothly. May God bless you. But if you are not yet married, this is a point to take critical attention. Take note of what I'm saying. You see, marriage is beyond the beauty, the kissing, the naked body is on the bed, and all that, and the making of children. If you marry a sister or brother because of her looks, because of her performance, she sings in the choir, she takes part in the Bible study that is not rooted in the mind, in the soul, in the spirit, in the body, then you're heading for trouble. Because unless, what I realize is that when a woman lacks respect for the father, the mother, relatives, parents, do not expect that such a woman will respect the husband. Because that is what happened to me. Discovered that Lucy had no respect for her father. And in fact, it is she who taught her mother, according to the father, to be disobedient. And the father one day said, my wife was not like this until you. Can imagine what happened. So I discovered that when you lay emphasis on all the acting activities in the church, all the drama, then you're not laying a solid rock. Look now for a marital relationship to last. Look now for an individual who would be your wife, who would be your husband, your spouse. They should look at the character. The character is what matters and not all the showy things there. Because after all the beauty, all those things, you will you will now get down to the nitty gritty. The character will come out. If she was the wayward type, she will continue from where she stopped. Like this one. She went out secretly and resumed with her former boyfriend before I married, from where they stopped. Can you beat that? And here is a sister. So if you see how a sister sings so well like angels in the choir, oh Lord, I sing Jesus, do not be misled by that. Go for her character. You see, the gospel we claim to study, we claim to teach others is this. It is like education. Unless you are prepared, ready to allow the teachings in the church affect you, unless you are prepared to apply it, it will not have any effect. The same with secular education. Whatever learning, whatever enlightenment you have, unless you are ready to allow it to work. So to talk about marrying in the Lord, it may have been better when humanity's perfection was closer to when they were made. But in these days, it is not. So it's a pity for anybody who would now want to base his decisions on a marriage mate based on what he sees or she sees. It is not quite correct to say marry in the Lord and you base those things. It is a deception. It is a diversion. So in order not to fall into problem, into deception, it is better to look closely at the real thing, personality, the character of the individual, because that is what the hidden person will certainly show up. It cannot hide for too long. So while scriptural advice may be okay, pay attention to that we should be. Now, what is your experience? Are you married or you intend to marry? If you are married, let me have ideas about how your marriage works. If there are somebody or some other individuals who have had similar experiences, let us share your idea in the comment below. But meanwhile, if what I have shared with you makes sense, share these ideas with others who would benefit. But much more than that, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that right away. And do not forget to strike the notification bell for future discussions that would benefit you. Meanwhile, question everything and hold fast only to what is fine. Let's meet again in the next video. Bye-bye.